It's Wednesdays with Keegan, and the start of the Braves-Jays series looked like it was going to be the disaster that some predicted with an early 2-0 Braves lead. It wasn't a disaster. It was a 4-3 loss. But Keegs, I'm going to start with the good news. The bullpen didn't F up this time.
It was all right. And this was at least, Dan, better baseball.
Yes.
Okay, I know that Jays fans aren't eager to look at a loss and say it was better baseball, but so many of the Blue Jays games lately have been really bad baseball. And even some of these low-scoring 2-1 wins, is a team winning the game or is one team just losing it harder? Like, it's been bad baseball. And this was at least a tighter, more well-played game. And there were things that you can take away from it. From the bullpen to Okamoto's hit, I think Kevin Gausman was okay. It started out poorly, of course, but he buckled down. He was all right. The Braves are just really good, man. And the Braves are a problem. They're going to be a problem today and tomorrow as well. But these are the series that I want to see, Dan, to see what the Blue Jays look like against a real team. Because lately, I think we've been watching a lot of bad baseball. The Baltimore Orioles series just had some dud games in it that were kind of tough to watch. Even going back through that Pirates series, before that, Angels, some Rays, just lots of clunky games that feel like early season games. The Atlanta Braves are very good. And I think to hang around with them is step one, but Jays need something from this, man. Back to 3 below 500. This magnetic pull to 500 is just so frustrating to watch. It seems like they can't get over the hump.
No one got hurt. Jesus Sanchez returned after getting hit from a ball from the stands. So that's another positive. No one got hurt.
There we go. Yeah, I read the reports from the reporters who are there in Atlanta before the game that Jesus Sanchez was day-to-day, and I thought, really? But thankfully he was ready to come into the game at the end there, and there's nothing more to come from that whole stupid thing that was just stupid in many ways. But no one got hurt, and decent injury news. Some rehabbing pitchers coming up.
A lot of them.
If you're a Blue Jays fan, just go to AAA Buffalo for the week. Forget Toronto for a while. I'd be the last one to advise anyone to travel to Toronto anyways right now. We got to shut the city down, Dan, for a handful of soccer games, which is another rant that would end my career for another day. But man, get down to Buffalo. You're going to have Cease and Scherzer and Bieber down there. You're going to have Alejandro Kirk and Jimmy Garcia starting rehabs in Single A Dunedin. Like, this feels like a wave, man. This feels like really good news coming injury-wise.
The Garcia news is the one where I'm like, oh, yeah, he's still a Blue Jay.
Dude, I think he leads this team in innings pitched this year, just rehabbing, like throwing bullpens at the complex in Dunedin. And Jimmy Garcia, too, man. Like, Jimmy is the one guy every year who I show up on like February 10th in Dunedin, Florida, and he's just dripping sweat, chucking 97 in the bullpen. I'm like, Jimmy, okay, that's great, but still getting back from that injury. And it's become like not a running joke, but just this running thing where every single day John Schneider's telling us, okay, Jimmy's going to throw another bullpen. And I think, my God, man, like, how many bullpens can you throw? But they're being really careful with him. And man, when Jimmy Garcia is healthy, this dude matters. I think it's been so long without him and so long since we saw the best version of him. But even last year, Dan, like a 3.86 ERA, walks were a problem. But like, that's a major league reliever. If he can get back to who he was, I'm thinking early 2024 before he was traded to the Mariners. Like, that's a very good big league reliever. And I think this bullpen is kind of just one piece away from settling in where they don't have that rotating AAA guy. So Jimmy Garcia, man, coming back, that's some real news. And I think people have forgotten about how good he was when he was good.
So we've got Jimmy Garcia, Max Scherzer, Shane Bieber, Alejandro Kirk, Addison Barger. Are you going to tell me Anthony Santander? Is he going to be next? Are we going to get everyone back?
For some reason, a picture of Santander popped up in my feed yesterday. Probably because someone was saying unkind things. I don't know. But I was just, sitting on my couch scrolling. So I thought, oh, that guy, haven't heard a word about Santander. I don't think we will this year. But
No, he's
man,
done.
he's in this organization. It's does he get a ring if they win? I don't know. But
Oh, yeah,
next
for
year,
sure.
you know what, Dan? Ask me next February, and I'm sure I'll have an overly wordy half update for you. But it's been a minute.
Of the guys I listed, who will return first?
Give me Dylan Cease.
Oh, I didn't even
think.
mention Cease.
I think he probably just needs one rehab start to make sure that his leg is like his hamstring issue, to make sure that that's cool. He hasn't missed all that long. And Dylan Cease was really built up. So even if he comes back and he's only throwing 90 pitches his first time, great, like whatever. I think Cease would be the closest of the pitchers. Probably Max Scherzer after that. I believe he's going to try to throw 60 pitches, maybe one more after that. And then Shane Bieber's probably still a few starts away. But slowly and surely, you will finally, my God, get these pitchers back. And then you can have a rotation of Gosman, Savage, Corbin. I feel like I need a whiteboard at all times to keep track of this team. Corbin, and then you start to replace those two bullpen days. And that's so valuable because this bullpen cannot keep doing what it's doing. Arms are going to fall off.
Well, just listing all those injured players and the amount of starting pitchers, and we aren't even mentioning Cody Ponce because he's done for the season. That is staggering.
Yeah. And Berrios and Bowden Francis. And I never mentioned Bowden Francis, but if he'd been healthy, Bowden Francis would have started 12 games already.
Mhm.
He would have stepped in and been that guy. How good would it have been? I don't know, but he would have been stepping in. Absolutely. It's stunning, man.
Have we taken a glance at Lauer's stats in LA? I'm afraid to look because if they're good, then you're like, oh, the one that got away.
Well, his first one was good, and I know that probably soured a lot of people. His first one is 6 innings, only 1 earned run on a solo homer, 4 strikeouts, 4 hits. Let me see when he is going to pitch again because their rotation is kind of in flux as it goes right now. Ohtani, then Robleski. He's not listed in the rotation the next couple of days. The Dodgers have a lot going on pitching-wise as well. But his first one was really good. And he wouldn't say it out loud, but I'm sure there was part of Eric Lauer thinking like, hell yeah, see, told you.
Blue Jays bats, we had Okamoto hit one out, but you look at the average, and again, I'm an old school guy. I look at averages.
Yeah.
You look at Andres Jimenez, horrible average. The Jays are relying on Ernie Clement, who's still hitting over 300. There's just no consistency in this batting order that at the start of the year, you're like, this is an order to be feared. And right now there's a lot of holes.
Yeah, just let me bring up Jimenez here. Let me pick a really arbitrary end point. I think too many people do this to prove how well things are going. Let me do the opposite there. But
Good.
let's
Yes,
look
we need some reality. We need reality keys.
But Andres Jimenez, I mean, you look these past 25 games here, 149 average, 503 OPS. That's most of the last month. It's been a really rough stretch for him. And I know that Jimenez is going to play brilliant defense, like some of the best defense in the league. But you need just a bit more from him offensively. Like the bar is very low. It's very low. But put the ball in play. I don't care if you're hitting 300. Put the ball in play and at least give your team a chance to make a mess of it. Keep the game active. And that's what they need from Jimenez. I look at George Springer too. Dan batting 212, 648 OPS. I know some of that comes from earlier in the year. He was dealing with a broken toe. I get it. But he was their MVP last year. Like, yeah, World Series, it was Vladdy. But during the regular season, it was George Springer and what he brought in terms of identity to this team. Like, I think of George Springer running the bases last year. I know that's really niche. Like, you want to think about home runs. But when I think about the 2025 Blue Jays, I think about George Springer just hauling ass around third base a million times. Like, he was really so key to their identity. And this year, he looks a bit more like a 36-year-old player naturally. So you're just not getting enough success stories right now. And even Okamoto, like you mentioned, 12 home runs, great. Batting 214 with all the ups and downs, less so. Dalton Varsho has been a power threat, but there's been some ups and downs. There's just not been one nucleus to this lineup because it's supposed to be Vladdy.
Mhm.
We're supposed to be having the conversation of, listen, Vladdy's OPSing 1,000. Yeah, some guys around him aren't doing well, but it's okay because Vladdy will win them some games. When you no longer have that nucleus in the middle, all of the other guys, like Andres Jimenez, that gets magnified. We shouldn't have a reason to talk about Jimenez, but we do because there's nobody starring in this show.
A couple of things I wanted to ask you about. One is George Springer and his constantly falling down at the plate. And I was watching the Braves catcher because Springer was kind of sitting on his butt. And I wanted to see if the catcher laughed or anything. He was looking straight ahead at his pitcher. He's like, my sense was, what are you doing?
Yeah,
What are you doing?
25 times a season, I think that George Springer has broken something. It's and then the one time he does break something, it didn't look like he did, but he is a there's a lot going on. That's the way I'll say it.
A lot.
There's a lot going on when George Springer's batting.
The other one was the golden child from last season, David Popkins, the Jays hitting coach. Remember at the start of the year, he gets announced. He had one of the loudest ovations. So now you have to look at him when you look at an ineffective batting lineup. And what's he thinking?
He was the only hitting coach with fans in Major League
Yes,
Baseball.
he was. My mom.
Yeah.
My mom knows his name.
Yeah.
And that means you're ingrained.
Now, someone like Pete Walker, that's an outlier because Pete's been around forever. He played for this organization. So people are going to know and love Pete Walker. Mostly, and until someone gives up a home run and it's his fault, whatever. But normally, as a hitting coach or a pitching coach, it's like a punter in the NFL. Like you want no one to know who you are.
Mhm.
And if no one says your name, it means things are going okay. Last year, David Popkins got some real good press, and deservedly so. This year has been a battle of adjustments and of personnel. Personnel, first and foremost. Like the Blue Jays have been forced to use players, and I'll use Lenyn Sosa as an example of this, players who just don't fit their identity. Now, Lenyn Sosa in his time with the Blue Jays, it was not good. Okay, he's still a big league baseball player. I'm not here to dump on the guy. But Lenyn Sosa and how he plays the game of baseball didn't really fit what the Blue Jays were doing offensively. They've had to call up some players who they didn't expect to call up. So they've gotten away from that stable base that they had last year, where, I mean, Alejandro Kirk being in the lineup, I can't overstate how important that is. But last year they had this stable base where even the role players like Nathan Lucas always being healthy, they fit the Jays' identity so well. Having Nathan Lucas at the bottom of the lineup instead of Lenyn Sosa, world of difference. But also adjustments this year, like the way that John Schneider's explained it, and this really interested me, was that this year he believes that opposing teams are doing a good job of just randomizing how they're approaching the Blue Jays. So every team in baseball is smart. Every team has 1,000 nerds wearing the same outfits who are breaking down percentages of what pitches to throw here and there. Schneider has said a couple times now that teams are doing a much better job of just kind of scrambling that. Like the information is so uniform across the sport. Everyone knows that player X struggles against sliders low and away. Well, what if suddenly they're getting beat with a heater up and in? He thinks that they're getting kind of randomized like that, and you need to adjust. And it's, I hate the phrase game of adjustments. It sounds so vague and like it means nothing, but it's true, man. Like Blue Jays were really damn good last year, and opposing teams are going to try to figure out why they did that and try to break it open. And right now, they are doing that, which is why the Blue Jays are struggling even against pitchers who are throwing 91 miles an hour because they are losing the adjustments game right now.
I love giving random thoughts that I'm watching the broadcast and then I just voice to you and say them out loud for the first time. The next one is Brandon Valenzuela. When I see him every time, I think to myself, has he gotten larger? Is this man like the Breaking Bad clip where you see every time they go back to Bryan Cranston and his hat is bigger? Is this what we're doing here? Is someone playing a sorcery game on me? This guy continues to amaze me by his his presence.
He's a big dude. Man.
He is.
I like it. Bring back classic catchers,
Yeah.
Like we
Carlton
tried to get a little
Fisk.
too athletic with our catchers in Major League Baseball. I want my catcher to be the slowest guy on the team. Alejandro Kirk, perfect catcher. I want to be able to walk into the clubhouse and point at who the catchers are immediately. And I think you can do that with Alejandro Kirk and Brandon Valenzuela pretty quickly. But man, he's a huge target behind home plate. Like you can be too big as a catcher. I don't think he's there. I think it's fine. He's a very good defender. But he's a big cat, man. And I'm interested that they're kind of playing with him a little bit at first base. He's played some first base in the minor leagues. If he sticks on the roster, which I still believe he should, that's an interesting little opening for him. I don't know how much they would stretch that, but the more versatile you can be, the better, especially as a big guy at catcher.
We have arrived at the Patrick Corbin game, and I was joking with our producer Tim. I said, well, our ace is on the hill tonight. I'm feeling good. And we talk about Corbin way more than I thought we would ever talk about this man, but he seems to be the palate cleanser for this club right now.
Palate cleanser's good, man. This is his 11th start of the season. I can't believe it.
That is crazy.
Still, like I've said it before, the best $1 million the Blue Jays have spent this year in a lot of years, probably. And palate cleanser is exactly it. Because if you ask me it's my job to cover this team and know what Patrick Corbin's doing. I can't really pick out one of his starts.
No.
Like, what's your favorite Patrick Corbin start? I don't really know. What's your least favorite one? I also don't really know. Yeah. And that's
vanilla is okay, though. Vanilla is okay.
It's great. Vanilla is a flavor. That's what I argue. People talk about vanilla as if it's plain and it's a lack of flavor. No, vanilla itself is a flavor. And if you buy the expensive ice cream, it can be a very good one. But Patrick Corbin, what he's doing right now is perfect for a number 5 spot in a rotation. The injuries have made him need to be like the number 3 ahead of 2 bullpen games. This whole thing's a mess. But when Dylan Cease and Max Scherzer and eventually Shane Bieber come back, something else will go wrong in the meantime. That's how this season's going to work. Patrick Corbin just feels like the guy that's going to stick around as the number 5. And you've got to be very happy with that, because with a competent offense, which the Blue Jays don't really have right now, he's doing enough to win more than he loses. And if you're getting that from your number 5, you are in fantastic shape. Like, really, if you're a winning team, you're hoping that your top 3 are better than the other team's top 3. But if your number 5 is better than most 5s, you're in a really good spot. And Patrick Corbin, everything about him, like, he does it quietly, he speaks quietly, he moves quietly. It's just a perfect fit, man. I've been so surprised by it, because when they signed him, it was, there's no such thing as a bad, veteran small signing. But I remember thinking, oof, like, there's probably a reason this guy's still available in early April. But credit to him, man. He has been one of the best stories.
Tuesday was National Rocky Road Day. And as part of one of my streams on Tuesday, we were doing trivia. And the trivia question was the most ordered flavor of ice cream. And the options were vanilla, chocolate, Rocky Road. And I hoped so greatly that the number 1 answer wouldn't be vanilla. Yet there it was. Vanilla was the most ordered ice cream flavor. So I want to get on a shirt that says there are people in this world that, given all the options, still choose vanilla.
It's a panic order.
Don't be the vanilla guy.
Then you're pulling up to the window like, vanilla. Just give me the base ice cream before you add your stuff to it.
Give me the Patrick Corbin. Thanks, buddy.
You got it, Dan.